So I recently sat here with this on my desk. Now, this is not sponsored by Elgato, by the way, but I use the Stream Deck when I'm streaming, obviously, and if you stream and you play well, you may use it as well, or you might find it useful. But it just sits on my desk when I'm not streaming, which I know you could say your mouse sits on your desk, but at least you're using your mouse. I wanted to see if I could find a use for this in-game. And believe it or not, I actually use it more during streams for in-game actions now than I actually do for streaming. Let's have a look what I'm talking about. Now, whilst this isn't actually a product review, I thought it would make sense to at least show you what you're going to get. So obviously in the box, you are going to get the Stream Deck itself, which you could just have flat on the desk if that's how you'd want it. Or obviously you get a stand with it, which is adjustable, so you can put it at whatever height you like. I personally have it in the stand like that, just so it's quite easy. It's just in front of my keyboard, so I can more or less have my hands on my keyboard and then just stretch one finger out to the Stream Deck while I'm playing. Now, the thing is, all of these keys that I'll show you, they're all customizable. And they're nice push buttons as well. They don't feel cheap, obviously. It is a nice premium quality item. But you essentially have now got yourself another like 15 binds here, but for things that you probably wouldn't use very often. So I'm not saying mid-combat you're going to use this to pop your cooldowns or anything like that. Obviously, that's not the point of why you would use it. It's more things that you ordinarily wouldn't have bound. You can have bound to this to save rummaging through your bags or clicking on action bars or anything like that, especially if you're streaming and you don't want to look like a clicker. Just saying. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump in game and I'm going to show you what I personally have these key bound to, and we're going to start from scratch. So we're going to start with a fresh Stream Deck profile, and I'll show you how powerful this can actually be if you're a little bit like me and you just look for different ways of playing the game. So I'll show you the software. So the software that comes with it's great. This is where we're going to do all the customization, but first we're just going to jump in game so I can show you what I would do with the key binds themselves, and this bit will make more sense when we're looking at the Elgato software. So here I am in game on my 66 Druid on the TBC beta. So what I'm saying is if we go with this row of binds down the right hand side, so obviously if you was using an add-on like Bartender or something when we're actually in live, then obviously you can make this look better, and you could even have, you know, 3 sets of 5 sort of buttons on bars that will perfectly match your Stream Deck. So I've got on here at the moment, let's say I want to swap between 2 trinkets. Obviously I wouldn't swap between these 2 in particular, but this is purely for demonstration purposes. My Teleport Moonglade, you could also have your Hearthstone here, you know, Professions, Campfire, Find Minerals, you know, Water, Consumables, those sort of things that you're not going to really do in combat, but at the same time you might have them taking up space on your bar, because the beautiful thing about this is if you was using Bartender, you could actually have these on your bar. You know, have a bar here, for example, where I'm highlighting, and you could have 15 buttons here, but then you could hide it, because as you're about to see with the Elgato Stream Deck, you're not going to need to see these on screen because we will have the actual icons on the Stream Deck itself. So now you're going to make your UI look cleaner. You'll have all of these off of your keyboard, so you don't need to worry about having extra binds for all of these things, but you won't need to go in your spellbook, you won't need to, it will make sense when we start looking at the software. But if we look at what I've done with the key binds to begin with, so this is the right hand bar. So now I've just made binds up that I would never ever use in game. So Control Alt Q, Control Alt W, ERT, I'm just going to cross the top of the keyboard, but I'm never going to use this sort of setup of binds for any ability in game, not for when I'm actually in combat or anything like that. So these are strictly going to be reserved for the Stream Deck. So if I then bring the Stream Deck in, and I'll just go to a different profile. So I've set this up so you can see both the Stream Deck and the key bindings down the right hand side. So I will put links to anything that you're going to need in the description, obviously. So things like the icon pack. Now, you're going to be best off just literally using your screen snip tool and just snipping that and saving it and then using it as the picture. That's what I would do, so I get the specific icons that I want, and I'll show you how I'll do that. I'll show you exactly what it's going to look like on the Stream Deck when we've finished. So we'll start with this. It said Hearthstone, but it's actually Moonglade. So we've got Teleport Moonglade, and we've bound it to Control Alt Q, which is exactly what that button is bound to, Control Alt Q. So now we say we want the 2 trinket swaps, or, you know, if we want to swap between those 2 trinkets, what we will then do is we will go into the software and go to hotkey. We'll add a hotkey. We'll call this trinket 1. I appreciate my keyboard's very noisy, sorry. And then we will change this to Control Alt and W. So that now will use that trinket, but we obviously want to mimic exactly how we want it in game. So this is where we would select a picture, and as from file, and I've got this WoW icon pack which has got abilities, it's got loads of different things. You would have to scout through to try and find something. You could just find an icon that you're happy with, but what I would do personally is now use my screen snip tool, which probably isn't going to be very clear in the video itself. I won't snip that because that's the wrong one. So I'll use the screen snip tool, snip this trinket. So I've screen snipped the trinket. Well, you can see it. So we've now got a screen snip of the trinket. So now when we go back to our Elgato software, we can close that. We can go to set from file. We can go to downloads, because that's where I've saved it to, trinket. Now that will show that icon on the Stream Deck. The reason I don't particularly like screen snips compared to actual proper icons is because you can see, you would have to play about with the dimensions of the actual picture that you snip, make it bigger so it fits. Whereas the icon pack that I've got, if we was to just to pick a generic image for now, and let's just say we used a spell and we knew that our trinket was going to look like charm, for example, that fits perfectly. So that's our trinket 1. So for now we'll just go like that. And then trinket 2, I mean, it is really rinse and repeat. I'm not going to sit and show you obviously absolutely every single one, but we'll do another one just for clarity. So we've set at the moment, we've pulled in a keybind. We're going to go Control Alt and E, because I know I'm just working my way through basically across the keyboard from Control Alt Q all the way top, across the top of the keyboard. Now the title for this will be Trinket 2, and then if we then set from file and we'll say Trinket 2, let's use, let's say it's your diamond flask or whatever it's called for a warrior. So, that's now Trinket 2. We're yada yada, we can work our way through. So then we'll do the next one, which we'll use as first aid. And we will set, hopefully we've actually got the first aid icon, because it should maybe be as trade. No, maybe not. What is it? Abilities? So we'll just pick just a bandage. We know it's going to be first aid. As I say, you can get all these icons. Getting the icons is not going to be the difficult part. What this is now going to show me on my Stream Deck so far, so we've done 5. We can leave, so these 5 buttons we don't even need to see anymore. And we'll just work our way through. I'm not going to bother with, things in particular. I'll just quickly fast forward through me just filling out this Stream Deck, and then we'll see what it looks like, not in-game, as in on the actual Stream Deck, and then how it will work in-game. Alright, so I've only bothered keybinding the first few, obviously, because we're going to be able to see that in game, and there was no point wasting your time or mine. But let's have a quick look at what it looks like actually in real life, as in on the Stream Deck, so you can see what it looks like, and then let's have a look at how it will work in game. Now, what you got to remember, this is more just for sort of ease, saving keybind space, not having to click as much. It does genuinely look really nice, as you're about to see. It looks really nice on the desk with all the WoW icons on. You can set a screensaver as it. So if you've got a logo, if you're a streamer or something like that, you can have the screensaver come on when you're not using the Stream Deck, and it will show whatever you want. You could have a picture of your character or whatever, and all of the pictures will make up like a puzzle, if you like, all come together, and it will show one big image. But let's have a look quickly what it looks like on the desk, and then we'll talk through how this will now interact in game, and how it's just pretty cool. Now we're looking at the desk, we're looking at the Stream Deck. You can see we've got in the top left, we've got our teleport moonglade, we've got our flask, which I believe we sort of agreed was going to be a trinket. We've got trinket 1, we've got first aid, so it labels them as well, just in case you do forget what the icon is, although you'll probably have the icons match what you've got in game. But now that looks nice, that looks nice on the desk. It's a nice sort of addition to the desk, and not only that, it's useful as well. So this is probably going to be a bit awkward, but let me just try. So if we was to press teleport moonglade, and then I'll just show you it literally just like this, it will then teleport moonglade in game. I don't want it to do that, but the same way if I was to use trinkets, or what if, you can see on the screen we've not got it open there, but if we open first aid, it then opens first aid. What a weird way to be filming this. But I think you can already see how useful that actually is. And as I say, it's just pretty cool just to be able to look down, press a button, open first aid, open whatever you want. Obviously, you can use the Stream Deck if you stream or if you do YouTube videos. There's a lot of things you can do with it, having those extra 15 buttons which are visual. That's the main thing. You only have to just glance down and you know what you need to press. I find it particularly useful for those things that I don't want keybinds for. So professions, tracking herbs, tracking mines, but even buffing. I do actually have like a button now, just literally just for Mark of the Wild. It's just easy, and it saves worrying about wasting one of my prime locations for keybinds on not useless stuff, but stuff that you don't need to use sort of reactively. You know, there's no rush in doing it. And again, I like aesthetics. Aesthetically, it looks pleasing in my room. So like I say, if we go back into game now, you can see I'm not going to be pressing any of this. Trust me, I've got a mechanical keyboard. If I was pressing that, you would know. But just from the Stream Deck, I can teleport Moonglade if I want. We'll cancel that. I can swap between the two trinkets. So up here, we've got these two trinkets. You'll see the green sort of border around it. So I can swap to that trinket or back to that trinket. I can open my first aid if I wanted to. I can open whatever this was. So engineering, I've got like on the Stream Deck as well. I can open my cooking. You know, it's all just nice and easy. And you can just you can see how good it is. So I know this is a bit of a different video, but I am going to be doing a lot of videos now, especially with all these manufacturers of gaming peripherals reaching out, you know, and I want to show you why, you know, investing in some of these peripherals is worthwhile. So, you know, the Stream Deck is just the start. I'm going to be doing one on the Naga Pro. I've already done one on the Razer Tartarus, but I'll probably be doing another one on the Tartarus because even I've learned a lot since the first video I've done on that. So we'll definitely be able to make that probably a lot more unique and user friendly, and you know, give you some real good tips of what you can do with it. But this is just my opinion on why a Stream Deck. Do not be fooled by the title that it says stream. You could use it for absolutely anything. I have a profile for video editing. I have a profile for streaming. I have a profile when I'm doing live YouTube videos. So if I'm doing a live video on items or, I don't know, tier gear, whatever we're looking at, I'll have all of those items bound to each different key so I can bring them on and off screen as I need to. And because it's visual, I can look down and see the icon and I know, oh, that's the one that I want to bring in next. So just really useful overall. Now, I've put an Amazon affiliate code in the description, so if you do decide, actually, I really like this and I want to get this, please use the affiliate code. Obviously, it helps support the channel. I wouldn't recommend anything to you guys that I wouldn't use myself. So anytime you see me do one of these videos, I can guarantee it's either on my desk or in my room. So, you know, rest assured, it would be money well spent. But until the next one, make sure you like, subscribe. As I say, lots more hardware wow integration to come. It's not going to be an everyday thing. You know, I'll probably like try and do one every 2 weeks or something like that. It just keeps everything fresh and gives you guys ideas on how you can make your gaming experience, your streaming experience, or your even YouTube content creation experience really good, unique, and better than everybody else. That's what it comes down to. You need to be unique. So, look, guys, thanks again for watching. Like, subscribe, check me out over on Twitch, and I'll see you on the next one.